चलो चलो चलो। हाँ, आवाज आ रही है। आवाज आ रही है। चलो चलो चलो। कौन कहता है कि कौन कहता है कि अकेले टीचर्स काम नहीं कर सकते? पता है, कोविड हैज टॉट अस ऑल दीज थिंग्स। कोविड ने, चलो, लाइक स्टिल आई मीन यंग एज, there were teachers in 40 years age, 50 years age, struggling with mobile phone mics and all. So we have done. All my new students, new watchers, all the people who are watching it first time, please ignore these kind of things. I am taking classes from my home. This is my house. No assistants, no supports. It's just me arranging all these things. So kindly be lenient and benevolent for me. Last minute strategy part 2 quick revision. So all those who are going to watch it for the first time, part 1 we already have done. Same thumbnail, part 1. So you can watch part 1. This is part 2. I was reading the comments in part 1 that we are excited to see the part 2. Here we have part 2. We have to save time. Quick revision means my effort to remind you if you have missed something. जल्दी जल्दी एफर्ट्स लगा रहा हूं कि कहीं बाई चांस इफ यू हैव मिस समथिंग, सी आई एम 10 टाइम नेट, इट मीन्स I know what comes in exam, what all they can ask. I'm ex-assistant professor, University of Delhi. If I have to set paper, what questions I will ask? If I have to set tough question paper, what kind of questions I can go for? I have my double JRF. If I really want you to face the trouble in exam, what kind of questions I can ask? That's how my mind works. So when I'm talking about the quick points, my idea is to focus on PYQs plus all type of questions which can be asked. So kind of, some sure questions जो आने के chances हैं. So take that seriously. Do not miss that. लास्ट मिनट गाइडेंस है, और अपने आप को समझाना कि जो लास्ट मिनट गाइडेंस हमें दे रहा है वो मल्टीपल टाइम नेट क्वालिफाइड है इंग्लिश का. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, प्यूरिटन एज. प्लीज रिमेंबर, व्हेन मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स स्टडी प्यूरिटन एज, दे डोंट नो दिस मैन. सो प्लीज रिमेंबर ओलिवर क्रॉमवेल. पेपर में क्वेश्चन आ जाएगा, व्हाट इज द नेम और द पोस्ट गिवन टू ओलिवर क्रॉमवेल. क्या नाम था, क्या पोस्ट थी? ही इज कॉल्ड लॉर्ड प्रोटेक्टर. Oliver Cromwell called Lord Protector. Please remember that. Second important thing, in Puritan age, the timing 1642 Civil War. नेट एग्जाम में 10 से ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस हैं, 10 प्लस क्वेश्चन. 1642 Civil War. Why? In fact, last to last net exam there was a question. They do not ask direct question. They will ask indirect question. 1642 is also known for theater closing. So please don't forget, just like Norman Conquest 1066, then the plague 1348, that Battle of Spanish Armada 1588, just like that, theaters were closed in 1642. 10 plus questions. 10 बार से ज्यादा आया है. Note it down. Now they can also ask a tough question. The timing of civil war. The timing of civil war is 1642 to 1649. Charles I dies, Puritans become the king. Now let's go for the other bullet points. Time come hai, so I'll save the time and we'll go for the bullet points only. In Puritans, please remember, John Milton is everything, but in exam right now, last moment, so they will not ask easy questions. John Milton में easy questions नहीं पूछेंगे. They can go for, do we have a mask written by John Milton? How many of you know that John Milton has written a mask? Paper का question है, 4 to 5 times question. Another important thing, do you know John Milton was in support of freedom of press? कौन सी बुक है freedom of press से डील करने वाली? उसका टाइमिंग भी पूछा गया. द टाइमिंग इज ऑल्सो आस्क्ड. एरियोपैजिटिका. Then they can go for Paradise Regain. They have asked a question in Odisha SSB, the famous work Samson Agonist. They can ask any question from anywhere. So in Milton, read and revise everything. In my offline batch, online class, we talked about Aubrey, John Aubrey brief lives. That can also be a tough question, but important thing here that when you go for Paradise Lost, first of all, please remember the publication of Paradise Lost. So you must remember the publications. Uske baad, the important thing is the names of devils, the names of God. Who was the chief angel of Eden Garden? Who goes to talk to Adam? What is the name of Satan in disguise? Satan disguises himself and talks to Sun. Who guides Satan about Eden Garden? Who was the devil who protested against God but returned to God? And who was the devil, the designer of pandemonium? Also, the question of Jamia exam. Please remember, Paradise Lost, primarily the names of angels, devils. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वो पेपर में पूछ लेंगे एब्डियल कौन है, मोलोक कौन है, मलसीबर कौन है, who is second in command, who is Beelzebub, who is Mephistopheles. Mug this up. In online class, offline class, we have talked about all the devils one by one. Offline class में तो बकायदा narration दिया था. Remember offline batch? Who is the devil who is greedy and looks for gold and walks like this? Remember I did that in my class. He has a hunchback. Don't forget that. Now, apart from these things, apart from Milton and other things, John Bunyan is very important from religious writers group. We are talking about Puritan writers, religious writers. John Bunyan is very important. Please don't forget Pilgrim's Progress. दो publication है. There are two publications. Book 1, Book 2. Questions of date are important. Book 1, Book 2, date oriented questions can be asked. 1671 Part 1, 1684 Part 2, Hero Christian, Heroine Christiana, Obstacles, Vanity Fair title has been taken from. Repeated question है, Vanity Fair का title कहाँ से लिया गया है? Pilgrim's Progress. Very important. Then, go for the other writers. And here we have some religious writers. Thomas Brown, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. 8 to 10 questions in exam. 8 to 10. 1642 Religio Medici, रट्टा मार दो. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट राइटर है. While other students only study Milton and Bunyan, Thomas Brown, Religio Medici, 1642, multiple questions, date oriented question. Date बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Number 2, just like this man, Robert Burton, Anatomy of Melancholy. Anatomy of Melancholy, 1621. रट्टा मार दो. Anatomy of Melancholy, 1621. Tough question. I have explained in offline batch, in online batch. Tough question आया था that what is the solution of melancholy? Love and faith. Solution of melancholy, love and faith. First person to talk about melancholy as a disease. Last moment revision है. जल्दी जल्दी खत्म करो. Next one is Isaac Walton. Last net exam में question है. Isaac Walton, complete angler. Last net exam question है. Question आ चुका है. 1653. Last net exam question has already been asked. Philosophy of fishing. Mug this up. रट्टा मार दो. Last moment है. Quick revision है. We are done with Puritans. We are done with Puritans. 5 to 7 things. I reminded you in Paradise Lost, angels, demons, their names are very, very important. They can also talk that the fall of man takes place in which book? Check कर लो. Areopagitica 1644, Lycidas 1631, 37 किसकी डेथ पे लिखा है वो देख लो. मिल्टन के सोनेट की लाइन आ चुकी है पेपर में. Those also serve who only stand and wait. Those also serve who only stand and wait. 2015 December में the line was asked. Please revise all these things. Online students, offline students, whatever you have written from class notes are more than enough. Offline students, remember last moment, class notebook और कुछ नहीं पढ़ना है. class notebook. That is more than enough. All important points you already have in your notebook. Ratta maar do. Restoration age. Come on. Switch. Dryden. Check करो. Names of characters. ड्राइडन के साथ कौन कौन लोग हैं वहां पे? तो ड्राइडन के अंदर एब्सलम एगिडोफिल. कैरेक्टर्स के नाम याद करो. एब्सलम एगिडोफिल. पेपर में मल्टीपल क्वेश्चंस आ चुके हैं. एब्सलम, हु इज एब्सलम, हु इज एगिडोफिल, हु इज जिमरी, हु इज द शिमाय, हु इज कोरा. सो कोरा, शिमाय, ओजी, DOEZ. Ozydiozis has been asked, Korah has been asked, Shimei has been asked, Absalom कौन है, Agitophel कौन है, David कौन है. Characters should be on your tips. McFlecknoe. They'll simply ask the opening line. And who is Flecknoe? Richard Flecknoe, 15th century dull poet. McFlecknoe, son of Flecknoe. What's the opening line? All things are subject to decay, and when fate summons, monarch must obey. Opening line. All things are subject to decay, and when fate summons, monarch must obey. दोनों important है, but then comes his religious work, Hind and Panther. Hind and Panther जल्दी से check करो. His religious work, Hind and the Panther. Hind and the Panther. Please check that. Hind and the Panther. Very, very important. Jaldi check karo. Then remember artificial lyrics. This man has written artificial lyrics. इसके दोनों artificial lyrics check करो. Then do remember the famous work Essay on Dramatic Poesy, 1668. Very important. Offline batch, online batch. I have taught you the opening day. Which day Essay on Dramatic Poesy starts? Who are the four friends? Neander, Creides, Lycidius, Euxenus. Who is who? And what is the meaning of Neander? New man. Revise करो, रट्टा मारो. ड्राइडन में और कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. हाँ, you can also see that he became poet laureate by same age. Next one, Restoration age. सबसे important writer, सबसे important. Remember this thing, it is quick revision. William Congreve, सबसे important. 17 plus questions in net exam. This man, William Congreve, way of the world. History में सबसे ज्यादा questions हैं. The history of UGCNET English Literature exam, 17 plus questions. 17 से ज्यादा question है. रट्टा मार दो इसका. Millamant, Mirabelle, Fainall, Wishford, opening scene, Chocolate House. Everything has been asked in exam. 17 plus questions in that exam. Ratta maar do, kind of Bible of exam. No need to read any other work. This question is reference. Most of the students don't know this. Jeremy Collier. Very important. Unknown writer, small writer. Simple funda of UGCNET is great writers, unknown works, unknown writers, great work. Jeremy Collier, A Short Note on Immorality and Profaneness of English Stage, 1698. 1698, A Short Note on Immorality and Profaneness of English Stage. Ratta maar do. Congreve, Vanbrugh, Wycherley, Dryden. He criticized 9 writers. Paper में question है, who is number 1? Vanbrugh, who is number 2? Number 1, number 2. The question was like this. Then another question was the pair. So pick the right pair who have been criticized by him. So they were also in the pair. Multiple question. Jeremy Collier, 1698. A Short Note on Immorality and Profaneness of English Stage, 1698. Ratta maar do. Next one. In Restoration, just remember what is comedy of manners. In comedy of manners, you just have to remember this, that the Restoration comedy took reference from French writers. French writers Molière. So please remember, French writer Molière. इसका नाम याद रखना. And for tragedy, Corneille. 90% students don't know this. Comedy of manners were inspired from French literature. Comedies were inspired from Molière. Tragedies were inspired from Corneille. And other writer who inspired tragedies was Racine. Please remember these things. Remember, it is a quick revision, so there are chances that you will say, sir, you missed that, you missed that. Don't find loopholes. It is not a scripted video. I don't have any something like that. Like in Elizabethan, I could not talk about Ben Jonson. Please read Volpone. Please, Volpone padho. Who is Mosca? Who is Corvino? Corbaccio? Voltaire? Who are the animal imagery? Who is parasite? Who is a raven? Who is a crow? Who is a vulture? Please remember that. Then, the famous work 1610, Alchemist, Why Love It Leaves the City. Ben Jonson, these two works very important. So there are chances that I miss one word, but remember it is not a detailed lecture. In detailed lecture, I'll tell you 10 plus unknown writers who are never heard by anyone. वो यहाँ पे पढ़ाऊंगा मैं आपको. Same topic. In detailed literature, smallest topic, I take 4 to 5 big classes for that. Smallest topic. Now see, let's go for the next point. Augustan age. सबसे पहले, why this age is called age of enlightenment? Age of enlightenment. So please remember the reference, age of enlightenment, age of prose and reason. Who called it age of prose and reason? Multiple question in exam. Matthew Arnold called it our indispensable age of prose and reason. Matthew Arnold, very important. Then why this is called Augustan age? Assertion reason questions can be called. Why this is called neoclassical age or pseudo-classical age? So please remember these things. Then another important thing comes 1707, Act of Uniformity. The tough question in exam was, what was the immediate reason of England becoming rich? England अचानक से बहुत rich कैसे हो गया था? Act of Uniformity. Act of Uniformity. My target is to give you more and more in a very limited time. So I'm fast. And to be a champion, you have to be fast, right? Okay. And I'm also checking the screen because I'm getting call messages and sometimes the screen stops. 2 days back, one of my screens stopped. So I'm checking here, I'm checking there. Okay. We're done with this. Let's go for the writers. Everybody knows Alexander Pope? Yes, Alexander Pope. Everybody will read Rape of the Lock. Yes, everybody will read Rape of the Lock. So, what you have to do, Rape of the Lock, 3 publications. 3 publication. क्या आप जानते हो Rape of the Lock के 3 publication है? 1712, 1714, 1717. Question of net exam, what is special in the final publication? 1717 में क्या हुआ? So, the character Clarissa got added. Second thing, please remember, Epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot, where most of the students don't read this. Please remember, shut the door, good John, fatigued I said. And who is Sporus? Repeated question on net exam. Epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot, who is the character of Sporus? What is the story behind that? That is a question. So please check that. That's again very important. Now, when you study Alexander Pope, just remember that you don't have to go for his unknown works. Just check characters. Do you know Shock has been asked in exam? Shock is the dog of Belinda. So, there is Paul. Paper में Paul आ सकता है. Paul is parrot of Belinda. Sir Plume has been asked. Plume is brother of Belinda. Thalestris, Clarissa, Gnome, Spleen, Salamanders, all these characters can be asked. So give some time to this writer, this man. Then going for the other writers of the age. Swift. Please remember Battle of the Book. Timings. Battle of the Books. Then Tale of a Tub. Gulliver's Travels. पक्का याद करना है. Students make a mistake. They don't know the order of traveling in Gulliver's Travels. So Lilliput, Brobdingnag, Laputa, and Hoffenheims. Four lands, four voyages, four type of people, in which we have yahoos, in which we have flying islands, in which we have big people, 72 feet. Please, please, please revise that. In Battle of the Books, there is an image. There is an image. In Battle of the Books, there is an image. That was a question of exam. Small man, giant man. The question of UGCNET exam was that in Battle of the Books, Jonathan Swift takes the reference of a small man and giant man. Who are these people? Small man are modern writers. Write down. Modern writers. I know students को गांव में ये सब कोई नहीं पढ़ाता है. Modern writers. Giant man, big man, ancient writers. Ancient writers. Battle of the Books takes place in question of net exam. Battle of the Books होता कहां पे है? King's Library. कहां पे लड़ाई होती है किताबों की? The fight of the books take place in King's Library, also called St. James Library. James Library London, King's Library London. Please remember that. Then the Bee and the Spider episode comes here. Bee and the Spider episode. Bee and the Spider episode comes here. Please check all these details with the timing 1704. Okay, Augustines में अब देखो क्या क्या बाकी है. Most of the students will read this, but sometimes they make mistake. Remember offline batch students, online batch students? I prepared you with Modest Proposal. Jonathan Swift का famous work. Please remember what is Modest Proposal and why it was written. किसका reply किया था? What was Drapier's letters? Modest Proposal, Drapier's letters and letters to Stella. अगर पेपर टफ आएगा, they will ask questions from here. Modest Proposal, timing very very important. 1728. एक साल ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है. I'm not 100% sure. Now, then please go for newspapers. The Daily Current you have done in my class. Tatler you have done. Spectator you have done. Rambler, Idler, Watchman, Champion. We have done all these newspapers in our classes. Remember, they can talk about the pseudonym. Champion, Henry Fielding, Hercules Vinegar. Then Watchman, Coleridge, Tatler. How many people were there? How many essays were there? Spectator Club, 274 by Edison, 236 by Steele, then others who are the regular contributors. Along with that, Spectator Club members. Spectator Club members. Remember, 6 people. Will Honeycomb, Rosa D. Coverley, Andrew Freeport, Captain Sentry, Mr. Spectator, and Widow Lady. 6 members. The students who don't know, repeating once again, Will Honeycomb, Rosa D. Coverley, Captain Sentry, Andrew Freeport, Widow Lady, and Mr. Spectator. 6 members. In offline batch, I ask people, you get up, you tell me. You get up, you tell me. We have done all these things. So you also revise that. Then please go for Edison and Steele. When you will do these things, you will also revise Steele, Edison, John Gay, Beggar's Opera. John Gay, one work, Beggar's Opera, 1728, रट्टा मार दो, chances हैं. Pre-romantics. सबसे पहले थॉमस ग्रे, एलिजी रिटन, कंट्री चर्चयार्ड, रट्टा मार दो. James Thompson, Seasons published in 1730. James Thompson is called father of pre-romanticism. Tough question in exam. Tough question. पता है क्या आया था? Seasons deals with 4 seasons. 4 seasons, 4 books. 1726 to 1730. ऑर्डर सेट करने में आया था. बुक्स के ऑर्डर सेट करो. 4 seasons, summer, winter, autumn, spring. set them in order. The first book, second book, third book, fourth book. 4 books, 4 seasons, set them in order. Offline batch, remember WSSA, winter, summer, spring, autumn. But sir, ये भी S है, ये भी S है. Confuse हो गए तो? So remember that day. What did I say? Just opposite. Winter, confirm. Just opposite. Summer. Spring, just opposite. Autumn. Winter, summer, spring, autumn. Set the order. Please remember the order. Then go for next one. Thomas Gray, Elizabeth in Country Churchyard. Quotations are very important. In fact, they have asked the question, what do you mean by transferred epithet? 100 students, 103 likes. If you are getting knowledge, my dear students, my dear friends, like it. I don't know, but my parents gave me a learning. If you're getting something free, you should be thankful. So even if you're not a registered student, just think, why are we going for public live? I'm doing my private sessions, I'm doing my private live. It is my duty as a teacher. So come on, if you're learning something, like the video. हो सकता है ये 4 क्वेश्चन तुम्हें पेपर में बचा लें. इनडायरेक्टली अननोन वे में अगर 1-2 क्वेश्चन भी यहां से आ गए, and if you're saved. So come on, like the video. God is watching. If you're just getting things in free, and you don't want to even click the button, God is watching. Come on. कोई free पढ़ा रहा है दोस्तों? Okay, we have done this. Seasons हो गया, pre-romantic हाँ. चलो. भाई लोग, graveyard school poetry मत भूल जाना. Pre-romantic graveyard school poetry. Ask yourself how many of you know graveyard school writers. If you just know Thomas Gray, you are 10% prepared. So, Thomas Parnell, Robert Blair, equally very, very important. Please remember, Thomas Parnell, Robert Blair, दोनों important हैं. Then in pre-romantic writers, we have writers like William Cooper. सबसे important work, इसका सबसे famous work है Sofa Poetry. Sofa Poetry is very, very important. Then verses written by Alexander Selkirk. So it's just that person, he was all alone. It's very important. William Cooper, मत भूलना. William Collins, Ode to Evening, revise it. Ode to Evening, नहीं भूलना है. Then we have a very important writer. Most of the people miss him. They don't read him. Repeated question in exam. Edward Gibbon. Decline and fall of Roman Empire. Multiple question. Decline and fall of Roman Empire. अगर सिर्फ decline and fall आए, if they just give you decline and fall, then that work is by Evelyn Waugh. That is postmodern. If they just say decline and fall, only this much, then it is a postmodern work written by Evelyn Waugh. So please revise. They are very, very important. बाकी pre-romantic से ज़्यादा questions नहीं आते हैं. Normally they don't ask a lot of questions from pre-romantic, so you can avoid also. But then when you go for romantics में क्या revision करना है? So primarily everything, because there are hundreds of poetries. Solitary Reaper, The Way the World is Too Much with Us, Rainbow, very, very important work. Tinton Abbey should be on tips. Kubla Khan, Rhyme of Ancient Mariner, tips पे होना चाहिए. All the signals in Kubla Khan. Sorry, Christabel. Kubla Khan, name of river, size of river, 5 miles per fertile. And Christabel, all the signals. All these things should be on your tips. Christabel, Kubla Khan, tips पे होना चाहिए. Ode to Nightingale. They can ask any line. Ode to Grecian urn, thou still unravished bride of quietness. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. They can ask anything. Make sure you read, revise. P.B. Shelley, Ode to West Wind, Terza Rima, used by Dante. Please, please, please remember, Terza Rima used by Dante, used by P.B. Shelley in Ode to West Wind. Then, please remember, P.B. Shelley has written Ozymandias, very important. John Keats on First Looking into Chapman's Homer, very important. Along with these things, Byron and Southey, they can ask any question. So what is Byronic hero? In my offline batch, we were comparing Byronic hero and superfluous hero. In online classes, when I was teaching you Russian literature, superfluous man concept. Superfluous man concept is almost like Byronic hero. So just revise everything. Victorians, Victorians save time. Mic बंद हो गया? Just like that? Is it? You have to save time. Decline and fall of Roman Empire. You have to save time. आवाज आ रही है ओके आई थोड़ा आवाज आनी बंद हो गई है सॉरी बिकॉज मैंने दूसरे मोबाइल का माइक बंद कर दिया था ओके व्हाई टू सेव टाइम check my YouTube channel. Three days back, Victorian Age special quick revision video has been uploaded. Watch that. So check my YouTube. 3 days back, quick revision on Victorian. Quick revision. Already kiya hua hai, so no need to talk about that. Watch that video now. Let's go for moderns. Let's save your time. सबसे पहले टाइमिंग ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर नाइनटीन 1945 वर्ल्ड वॉर की टाइमिंग याद कर लो देन द फेमस लाइन वर्जीनिया वुल्फ वाला रेफरेंस इन 1910 ह्यूमन कैरेक्टर चेंज्ड 1910 human character changed by Virginia Woolf. It is a complete concept in online and offline I have narrated. तो ये याद करना है. Now, as modern have a lot of writers, so I won't be writing. I'll tell you. G.B. Shaw, Candida, most important work. G.B. Shaw, Candida from feminist point of view, very important. Then Man and Superman. Please remember, बहुत important है. H.G. Wells, Time Machine. Question has been asked. What is the name of the girl in Time Machine? Veena. Questions आ गए हैं. Don't forget that. Invisible Man. Griffin character. Don't forget that. Then R.L. Stevenson, Treasure Island. Very, very important. Last Victorian, early moderns. Virginia Woolf. Revise not only the works, also go for the essays like Mrs. Bennet, Mr. Brown. Read these books fastest. Henry James, Wings of Dove. And Portrait of a Lady. Isabella Archer is the character. And Wings of Dove की जो लड़की character है उसका नाम है Miley Thiel. Miley Thiel is the name of the girl. Was that Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness, The Nigger of Narcissus, Lord Jim. Tips पे होना चाहिए. D.H. Lawrence, Sons and Lovers, Lady Chatterley's Lover. Tips पे होना चाहिए. What is the name of the gamekeeper in Lady Chatterley's Lover? So we have to remember the name Oliver. Now please remember this thing. In Sons and Lovers, Oedipus complex है. So the name of the girl, Miriam, Clara, all these names are very, very important. Also remember the Rainbow and Women in Love because Ursula and Gudrun के question आए हैं. William Faulkner, Sound and Fury, very, very important. T.S. Eliot, Wasteland, Hollow Men, Ash Wednesday, Proof Rock, quotations, lines, as it is very, very important. Wasteland, 5 parts, how to set them in order. Revise karo fastest. Please remember this point that there are some modern writers they can be asked. Arnold Bennett, Old Wives' Tale, बहुत important है. J.M. Barrie, Peter Pan, बहुत important है. Along with these things, some writers from Ireland, W.B. Yeats, W.B. Yeats, J.M. Synge, Sino Casey. J.M. Synge, Playboy of the Western World, बहुत important है. Sino Casey, The Plow and the Stars, बहुत important है. James Joyce, just remember the basic details, no need to read anything. Along with that, W.H. Auden, Dylan Thomas, Do Not Go Gentle in That Good Night, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इनको जल्दी जल्दी रिवाइज करो. फिर ब्लूम्सबरी ग्रुप. सो आई मेड अ पब्लिक वीडियो, चेक दैट वीडियो. ब्लूम्सबरी ग्रुप में क्या है, 2-3 दिन पहले बनाया है. ब्लूम्सबरी ग्रुप के मेंबर्स कौन है, E.M. Foster, Passes to India, very, very important. Please remember all these modern writers, they can just come and save you an exam. Henrik Ibsen, Hedda Gabler, Ghost, Enemy of the People, tips pe kar lena. What is the name of the doctor in Enemy of the People that has been asked in exam? Okay, all the students who want to learn like this, मेरी तरह चीजें टिप्स पे करनी है. Offline batch video lecture classes are now being available for all the students. Today I was in office. They told me that in pendrive course the subscription will be given for 1 year. एक साल. Offline batch video lectures, 1 year subscription. Normally when students come to offline batch in Delhi, they spend 1,20,000 average. 1,20,000 रुपए खर्च हो जाते हैं दिल्ली में आके पढ़ने के 5 महीने के. बहुत कम फीस में एक साल के लिए ऑफलाइन वीडियो लेक्चर्स घर पे अवेलेबल होंगे. राइट नाउ इंस्टा, फेसबुक, यूट्यूब, दिस चैनल 700 registrations already हो चुके हैं. We are thinking to stop it by 1,000. So if you're not registered, WhatsApp me on the given numbers. Then we go for some other writers. WhatsApp me now 8810289637. We have numbers here. I'll write it for you. And session is not done. We have to work. ये करना है. Post colons करना है. World literature करना है. Then some other things. So session is not done. Stay tuned. Now, they have their own numbers, but those who want to talk and connect with me directly, this is my number. Just write down this, that I want pen drive course. Subscription timing will be 1 year, 12 months. They can come with some kind of condition, that maybe some early students or something like that. But that I know. Today we were just talking about this. 12 months pen drive course starting from 7th January. 7 January से बैच स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. Offline batch will start in Delhi. Pen drive course will start. So if you want to join pen drive course, 8810289637. WhatsApp me now. Now let's get back. चलो पढ़ाई करते हैं. Writers Afro-American and African. So instead of going for random writers, I'll tell you the most important one. अभी भी रिवाइज करो, बहुत टाइम है. प्लीज रिमेंबर, सबसे पहले एलिस वॉकर को करो. एलिस वॉकर कलर पर्पल 1983 टिप्स पे कर लो, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. द गर्ल राइटिंग लेटर्स टू गॉड, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. टोनी मॉरिसन, बिलोवेड, वन राइटर वन बुक. Toni Morrison, famous work, Beloved. Soul of the girl, who she avoids slavery. Name of the girl is Beloved. Ratta maar do, बहुत important है. Then comes the famous writer Harriet Beecher Stowe. Those who have never been taught, जिन्हें नहीं पता, African, Afro-American, they are very important writer, and people have questions. In net exam, they have many questions. So Harriet Beecher Stowe. अंकल टॉम्स केबिन, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वर्ल्ड क्लासिक, पढ़ लो इसको, अभी भी टिप्स पे कर लो. अंकल टॉम्स केबिन. देन जोरा नील हर्स्टन, नेक्स्ट राइटर. जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ लो, इनको टाइम है. जोरा नील हर्स्टन. ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, ऑफलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, यू आर रेडी विद दीज थिंग्स. शी इज द मेंबर ऑफ, जोरा नील हर्स्टन इज द मेंबर ऑफ नेग्रिट्यूड मूवमेंट. प्लीज रिमेंबर, the important thing is their eyes were watching God. Famous work, their eyes were watching God. Famous work, their eyes were watching God. Vol Soyinka, multiple question in net exam, multiple question. Vol Soyinka. The Lion and the Jewel. Most important, Baroka, Siddhi, Lakunle, these characters. Must read है दोस्तों, टिप्स पे होना चाहिए. Gugiwo Thiong'o, offline batch. I taught you this man in reference of post-colonials. Gugiwo Thiong'o, very important work, non-fiction, decolonizing the mind. Please remember, decolonizing the mind. That's very very important work. इसको नहीं भूलना है. Then comes Chinua HB. See, they have 5 to 7 works, but this is the last quick revision. I'm telling you the most important work. Chinua HB. Things fall apart. Title taken from WB Eats. Multiple question. Name of the character Oknoko, Ikmefuna. गांव का नाम पूछा जा सकता है लेकिन आज द नेम ऑफ द विलेज, नेम ऑफ द बॉय, नेम ऑफ द हीरो, हु इज ओकनोको, हु इज मिस्टर ब्राउन. टाइटल हैज बीन टेकन फ्रॉम WB ईट्स. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. व्हाट इज द सीक्वल ऑफ द बुक? नो लॉन्गर एट ईज, मस्ट रीड है. प्लीज डोंट फॉरगेट दैट. रट्टा मार दो दोस्तों. I know many of you are from villages. You have never been taught about these things. I was also coming from village. I belong to village. I know. Chimamanda, name of the writer. Ngozi Adichie. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Half a Yellow Sun. Very important work. Half a Yellow Sun. बहुत important है. सबसे important एक okay. We have a poet also. This poet is very important. Langston Hughes's name of poetry Harlem. Multiple question in exam. What is the another title of Harlem? A Dream Deferred. बहुत important है. I too sing America. Same writer. Africans भूलना नहीं. Nadine Gordimer, My Son's Story. Nadine Gordimer, My Son's Story. Very, very important. Conservationist, Booker Award. Very, very important. भूलना नहीं. First white African to win Nobel Award, 1991. Very, very important. Derek Walcott. Please remember, he is Caribbean writer. He is not directly African. He is Caribbean writer. He is Caribbean writer. Derek Walcott. Most important work. The Dream of the Monkey Mountain. The Dream on the Monkey Mountain. The Dream on the Monkey Mountain. Why I'm writing some spellings and all? Because I know many of you have not even heard about these. Remember, Derek Walcott is also 1992 Nobel Award. The Dream on the Monkey Mountain. Very important writer. World classic. Lauren Hansberry. Famous work. Raisin in the Sun. World classic. Multiple question in exam. रट्टा मार दो, टिप्स पे कर दो. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क है. नॉर्मली इन क्लासेस वी कंप्लीट 40 प्लस afro American वर्क्स. 40 से ज़्यादा करते हैं. जैसे बेन ओकरी है, वो भी हमने किया. नूरुद्दीन फरहा हमने नहीं किया. देन दैट द नेम ऑफ द लेडी बुची मैचटा. दे आर ऑल इंपॉर्टेंट पीपल. वो नहीं कर पाए. अतुल फुगर्ड वो नहीं कर पाए. दीज आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रिपीटेडली आज राइटर्स. So I'm not teaching Afro American. I'm telling you that we have just 2 days left. कर लो ये. There are chances you will have questions. Post colonials. Revise Naipaul. Naipaul को पढ़ो जल्दी से. House of Mr. Bishwas, Tulsi House, Hanuman House, Tulsi Family, Hanuman House. V.S. Naipaul, E.M. Foster, world classic. Very important. You should know what is the name of Adela Quest. Symbolic name of Adela Quest. ये आना चाहिए. Jhumpa Lahiri. Do you know interpreter of melodies has 9 stories? Question of set exam. It can be asked. Arundhati Roy, God of Small Things. Multiple question in net exam. Even the name of the village. Kiran Desai, Inheritance of Loss. Multiple questions in net exam. Please make sure that in post-colonials you do not miss any of these writers. बहुत important है. I have taught Tayyab Sali, I have taught Richard Flanagan and a lot of unknown names. हमने अनीता को करा था, अनीता एंड मी बाय मीरा सयाल. हमने शौना सिंह बाल्डविन पढ़ रखा है. हमने अजहर नफीसी, रीडिंग ललिता एंड तेहरान. हमने बहुत सारे एडवांस राइटर्स किए हुए हैं. बट राइट नाउ आई एम टेलिंग यू द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वन. झुम्पा लाहिड़ी, E.M. Foster, V.S. Naipaul, अरुंधति रॉय, किरण देसाई, अरविंद अडिगा, अमिताभ घोष. अमिताभ घोष बिना पढ़े एग्जाम मत जाना. If you are going to exam and you don't even know Amitav Ghosh, don't go to exam. अगर तुमने अमिताभ घोष नहीं पढ़ा है, Sea of Poppies, Calcutta Chromosome, River Smoke, या तुम्हें एबिस्ट्रोलॉजी नहीं पता है, या तुम्हें नॉन फिक्शन नहीं पता है इन एन एंटीक लैंड, डोंट गो टू द एग्जाम. अगर अमिताभ घोष नहीं पता है, And if you're taking coaching classes, if you're taking guidance, and you have never been taught about Amitav Ghosh in a proper post-colonial way, or they have taught you as a writer only, you're not prepared. It's a non-fiction in an antique land. Very important. Offline batch student, online in an antique land and great derangement. Remember great derangement पढ़ाया था मैंने environment पे. इको इको क्रिटिज्म का पार्ट है. दोनों पढ़ के जाना. Don't forget both non fictions. World literature. Please 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 remember सबसे important है. निकोलोई गोगोल, रशियन राइटर. निकोलोई गोगोल पढ़ लो, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है वर्ल्ड लिटरेचर में. देन फ्रेंच काफका, बर्टोल्ट ब्रेस्ट पढ़ लो. फ्योडोर दोस्तोयेवस्की, बहुत सारे हैं अपने वर्ल्ड लिटरेचर में, इनको पढ़ लो. देन प्लीज गो फॉर द फेमस राइटर डोरिस लेसिंग, पैट्रिक वॉइट ऑस्ट्रेलिया, मार्गरेट एटवुड कनाडा, मार्गरेट लॉरेंस कनाडा, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. इनमें से कोई राइटर्स को मत छोड़ना. मोयान फ्रॉम चाइना, वी हैव डन दीज थिंग्स इन आवर क्लासेस. हारुकी मुराकामी एंड काजुओ इशुगुरो फ्रॉम जापान, we have done all these writers in our classes. Masho, Basho, Nishiyama Soin. Please remember the questions have been asked from these writers. We have done Pakistani world classic writers. We have done Hanif Qureshi. We have done Mohsin Hamid. We talked about Alamgir Hashmi. We have done Monica Ali from Bangladesh. We have talked about Ismat Chughtai and other writers. We have done Sadat Hassan Manto. Revision में ये सारे writers कर दो, कुछ भी टेंशन नहीं होगा. You'll be done with these things. Now, just once again to boost you confidence. Why? 1% भी दिमाग में आ रहा ना, why? If you don't know us, who is guiding you? Who is giving the last minute content? My English score 99.55 percentile, 9th net. ये मेरा 9th नेट स्कोर है. 10th नेट 99.88 percentile. 10th net. This time I am not appearing because of my conditions. A theft in my office, some family condition, and my center is in Jodhpur, so I'm not able to attempt this time. Otherwise I would have done 11th net. You know why I'm telling you this? I know what they are going to ask. मुझे पता है वो क्या पूछेंगे. So I don't know you who is watching me, but I know this thing that you are an aspirant. तुम एक एस्पेरेंट हो, तुम्हारी लाइफ चेंज हो जाएगी. 2 दिन बाकी है ना अभी. Put efforts and complete what I have done. Those who have lost hope, जिसको लग रहा है कि यार मेरे से नहीं होगा, those who have lost hope, my dear friends, please do what I say. इतना कर दो. इमेजिन जब मैं आपको 2 घंटे 1 घंटे के सेशन में, आई थिंक 1 घंटे का सेशन है, इफ आई कैन गिव यू दिस मच इन 1 hour सेशन, तो मैं 6 महीने में कितना दे सकता हूं. ये क्रक्स है. दिस इज क्रक्स. इफ somebody is under my mentorship, if somebody is under my mentorship, I will not let my student go to exam without having these things on tips. ये मुझे टिप्स पे चाहिए. All my offline batch students, ask them. When I ask questions and they say sir option, I say no, never ever go to exam trusting the options. No, we have to be bloody best in the exam. मैं कंपटीशन में बैठूंगा, मेरे से बेस्ट कोई नहीं होगा. मेरा टारगेट है ये. आई स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम ग्राउंड लेवल, विलेज, सरकारी स्कूल, हिंदी मीडियम बैकग्राउंड. आई एम हियर. वन स्पिरिट, बी द बेस्ट, बीट द रेस्ट. Be the best, beat the rest, right? So just repeating once again, please, whatever we have done, my dear students, my dear friends, do that. बहुत टाइम बचेगा, ये सब काम आ जाएंगे पेपर में, ये सब क्वेश्चंस में आ जाएंगे. जितना बताया, जो बताया, जिसको पढ़ना है. इफ यू थिंक काश मैं बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ता, इफ यू थिंक ये वाला गाइडेंस मिलता, if you're thinking that this man, this guidance, yes, I need this thing to qualify. Offline batch. In offline batch, I open my wings to teach. Full efforts, University of Delhi standard. I've taught in Delhi University English Department 3 years. Offline batch, same videos you'll be getting at home. If you really want to study like this, WhatsApp me here 8810289637. Revise these topics, whatever I have told. ये रिवाइज करो, इसका वीडियो चेक करो, वॉच द वीडियो, then this one, this one, this one, this one, and then wait for the part 3 within 2 to 3 hours. Part 3, I will be dealing with culture studies, linguistics, ideolect, ideoglossia, heteroglossia, cliched, register, pedgin, calc, loan words. ये सब करवाऊंगा आपको next class में. Stay tuned and please be prepared. Be damn prepared. God bless you all.